Oh man, you guys, this is so good. Today we're making an amazing kale and soba dish with umami-packed garlic butter soy sauce mushrooms. In my last video, I showed you how to make the garlic butter soy sauce mushrooms, so I'll just do a pretty quick overview here. To make the mushrooms, we need mushrooms, garlic, butter, and of course, soy sauce. We will also need kale, soba noodles, and a spicy chili paste of your choosing. I'm using sambal ulik here. For the mushrooms, we're going to melt the unsalted butter over low heat in a large skillet, then add the 4 cloves of garlic, which have been thinly sliced. We're going to cook the garlic for about 2 minutes, but watch closely to avoid browning the garlic. Add the mushrooms in a single layer and cook them on each side for about 5 minutes or so. Today I'm using a combination of cremini mushrooms and shiitake mushrooms. You can remove the garlic if you feel like it is starting to burn, but I usually just move it to the outside of the pan. Add the soy sauce or tamari and stir to coat, cooking 30 to 60 seconds more. At this point, the garlic butter soy sauce mushrooms are ready to go. They're packed with umami-rich flavor and so good. To make the kale soba dish, we're going to remove the stems, wash and chop the kale, then add it to the skillet with the mushrooms. Add the spicy chili paste if you're using it and stir to combine. Let this saute until the greens are wilted, which should take about 5 minutes. While that's cooking, let's prepare the soba. If you're gluten-free, make sure you look for a brand of gluten-free soba such as this King Soba brand, which is available on Amazon. Bring a large pot of water to a boil with a few pinches of salt. As you can see, the water is set to boil for the soba, so I'm just gonna drop that in and set a timer. When the soba goes in, you do want to stir it right away because it will clump together. Cook about a minute less than what the package instructions say. You will want to use more water here than you think because soba is pretty starchy.
Look at how starchy that water gets.
Drain the noodles into a colander, then immediately rinse them to remove any surface starch and stop the cooking process. I also like to drizzle them with a little sesame oil or any other oil you have to keep them from sticking together, but this is optional. Once the kale is wilted and the soba is cooked, turn off the heat, add the drained soba to the pan and stir well. Taste and add more soy sauce or tamari, salt or sesame oil as needed. I was so excited to film this video because I love this dish and I really love buckwheat flavor. I love soba. When I originally posted this recipe, it was actually a few years before I became a nutritionist. What I didn't really realize then, and I think a lot of people don't realize, is that mushrooms are not a good source of protein. This meal as is not complete. It does not have adequate protein. So nowadays I pair this with something like my miso meatballs, which are so good. They're just basically ground meat with miso paste mixed in. I'll put the link for them in the description box below. Or if you want to keep this vegan, you can just make up some crispy tofu in the oven or fry tofu on the stovetop, which is really good. You could certainly also pair this with chicken or eggs or edamame. There are a lot of protein options here. Okay, that's it for this recipe. Next up, I'll be using the same umami mushrooms to make my internet famous mushroom melt. See you in the next video. Is that the recipe, which my faucet just turned on now it's done. Why?